Hey everybody, this is JJ, and right now what I wanted to do is talk to you guys about the second most overlooked item in a bug out bag. Now, I know you guys, a lot of you guys are probably saying, man, you don't need a tent, you just need, a tarp and all that kind of stuff. Let me tell you what, my opinion is that a tarp shelter, a survival shelter like that is an emergency option, okay? It's the easiest way to have a shelter that will keep the rain off of you when you weren't expecting to be out in the wilderness, okay? But in a bug out situation, regardless of how you define bug out, this is something where you're moving yourself and your family out of your primary home intentionally to get away from whatever situation it is. And it's brought about by emergency circumstances at your home or in your area, but you're doing it on purpose. You're planning it that you're gonna be outside the home, staying somewhere. Okay, if you're going to do that, my recommendation is that you have a tent. A lot of guys will say, man, they take up too much space, they're too heavy, and all that kind of stuff. Well, let me tell you what. The number one reason for people to die in the wilderness is because of exposure. All right, hypothermia, and also dehydration is the second thing. But the number one killer is exposure. Dying from hypothermia. A tent will go a long way to keep you from dying from exposure, okay? And not only do they keep you keep the water off of you and keep you dry, keep you from going to hypothermia that way, they also keep the wind off of you. And when they're all closed up and buttoned up nice and tight, just your body heat alone will increase the temperature inside that tent. And in most cases, unless it's a blizzard type scenario, you're going to be pretty comfortable inside there, okay? So my recommendation is that even if you didn't think that you needed to have a tent in your bug out bag, I think you should consider looking at them. All right, now this is the North Face Rock 22. This is a nice little tent, and I'll do a review on it for you guys so you can see it. This is what I have in my personal bug out bag, but it doesn't have to be an expensive tent. I actually got this one on sale at Quantico Tactical for $100, so it's a pretty good deal, especially being a North Face tent. But you can get them off Craigslist. You can get tents all over the place where people buy these really nice tents and then they never use them. You can get them at good prices. But that 6 pounds in the space that it takes is worth its weight in gold, in my opinion. Okay, you really should consider having that. That and a sleeping bag, in my opinion, are the very first two items that should go in your pack. Okay, other things should follow after that. But if you're going to be staying outside for extended periods, you need to be able to keep yourself warm and out of the elements, and sleeping bag and shelter are those two things. Anyhow, guys, like I said, I've watched a lot of videos and I've seen a lot of guys with tarps and stuff, and I carry tarps and stuff in my emergency kit, like my survival kit and those kind of things, where I'm not going to be planning to stay outside. If I'm planning to stay outside overnight, I will have a tent with me. I've spent it many nights under the stars in improvised in shelters and stuff like that when I was a survival school instructor at Fairchild. And it's nice sometimes when it's nice weather and all that kind of stuff. It's good to do that. It's nice to sleep outside and everything. But in an emergency situation where you got a lot of other stuff on your mind, having a tent and not having to worry about getting the shelter right or whether or not water's going to come in one side or one angle or anything like that, you can just pop that tent up and be done with shelter. It's a very nice feeling, and it's a very comforting thing. And it's something that can definitely save your life. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed my perspective on whether or not you should, the second most overlooked item in a bug out bag. I say that, like I said, because I've seen a bunch of videos and guys just don't take tents with them. I don't understand that rationale, but anyway, it is what it is. That's just my opinion. If you guys don't agree with it, that's totally fine. You don't have to. Just my thought. But thanks for watching, guys. As always, I definitely appreciate it when you click the thumbs up button, when you share with your friends on Facebook and Twitter, and don't forget to live the 6 Ps. Proper prior preparation prevents poor performance. So what shelter is in your bug out bag? Let me know in the comments below. I'm curious to see how many guys have tents and how many guys do an emergency tarp shelter. Thanks, guys.